NRL vids 090 back here with another video today. And in today's video, this is my round 8 NRL tips of the 2021 NRL season. So I hope this is another good round of footy. On Friday there's going to be two games, which is the Storm and Sharks, Broncos Titans, and those two games are also on my birthday on Friday night. So hopefully they're good games for my birthday, but either way, I'm looking forward to this round. So the first game of round 8, it's the Raiders versus the Rabbitohs at GIO Stadium in Canberra. So the ins and outs of the Raiders, so Josh Papali's out because he's been rested, or you could say he's been dropped by Ricky Stewart, so he's not in the team this week. And Jared Croker, Jared Croker's done a shoulder injury at training, so that's why he's not playing. So Bailey Simonson returns to the wing for the Raiders, and Sebastian Chris shifts from the wing to centres to replace Jared Croker. And Emre Guler starts at prop this weekend for Josh Papali, and Joseph Tarpon is back from being dropped into the bench. And for the Rabbitohs, it's the same thing as last week for the Rabbitohs after their win over the Titans. So Cody Walker remains at fullback, and Benji Marshall stays at 5'8" for the Rabbitohs. In this game, I'm tipping the Souths to win. I think Souths will be a little bit too strong in Canberra. I think Souths might get the win here. 32 points to 24. I think Canberra will score some points. Like I said, I think they'll get 24 points, and it'll be a high-scoring game, but won't be enough to beat Souths, I don't think. So I've got Rabbitohs to win on Thursday night. And now the game's my birthday. Obviously, the first one is Storm and the Sharks, Amy Park in Melbourne. So the ins and outs of the Storm. George Jennings is obviously out because of the concussion he suffered on Sunday against the Warriors. So he's out. And replacing him on the wing is Remus Smith. So Remus Smith will shift from the centres to his preferred position on the wing. And replacing Remus Smith in the centres, it's Tom Eisenhuth. And the other change is that Riley Jacks also joins the bench for the Melbourne Storm. For the Sharks, now Will Chambers will make his club debut for the Sharks. So after playing most of his NRL career at the Melbourne Storm, Will Chambers will make his return to the NRL after having not played an NRL game since 2019. He will make his return this Friday against his old club, the Storm, the Sharks, replacing Josh Dugan, who's been dropped in centre. So Will Chambers will play against his old club this Friday. And Aidan Tolman returns at prop. Wade Graham's back to replace Sasifa Talakai because of the high hit and all dangerous tackle he did on Matt Dury last week against the Bulldogs. And that's the team right there for the Sharks. Not much changes. In this game, I expect the Storm to be too good. I think Storm will be a little bit too strong for the Sharks at home. So I've got the Storm to beat the Sharks 26 points to 10 on Friday night. And now the last game is the Broncos and the Titans at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. So the ins and outs of the Broncos. Now the Broncos have yet another a change in the halves. They keep changing the halves up. I don't know if this one will work this time. So Tom Deaden's been dropped by the Broncos, so replacing Tom Deaden in the halves, it is Tyson Gamble at halfback. And I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a gamble playing Tyson Gamble, I think. And Anthony Milford's back from reserve grade, and Anthony Milford will replace Brodie Croft, who's been dropped to reserves this time as well. And just going to see if there's any more changes. Don't think so. So Broncos, that's the team right there for the Broncos. For the Titans, Titans are missing Patrick Herbert this week due to injury. So replacing him is Philip Sammy in the centres. And Sam Lasoni is also out. So replacing Sam Lasoni, it is Jamin Joliffe. And that's, most of the team right there for the Titans. Oh no, Termin SESA, that's replacing Sam Lasoni. So I mean, that's what I meant, sorry. But in this game, I've got the Titans to win. I expect Titans to be too good for the Broncos. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if actually Broncos win, because I've got a feeling that the Broncos might turn up. But I've got Titans to win on Friday night, and I've got Titans to win 22 points to 14 over the Broncos. And now Super Saturday, this is massive. This is massive for Manly. A huge test against the Penrith Panthers at Carrington Park in Bathurst. So Panthers and Manly are going to take a game to Bathurst this weekend, so that'll be interesting to see. So the ins and outs of the Panthers, obviously the big in is Api Korosia. He's back from a wrist injury, so he will come straight into that hooker position with Mitchell Kenny being dropped to reserves. And for Manly, no changes after last week's win and against the Tigers. So Manly have kept the same team for 3 straight weeks now, which is good to see. Look, in this game, this is tough to tip. You know what? I've tipped Manly. I know it may sound a bit biased here, and if Manly lose, you can give it to me. You can call me an idiot. You can call me whatever you want if Manly lose. But I'm tipping Manly purely because, not because I'm biased, but because with this team we found belief, and Manly are playing really well. Tom Troy is back in firing form, and last time when we played Penrith, we didn't have Tom Turbo, so I think that's the difference for this game as well, possibly. Morgan Harper's coming to the team. He's done really well. Guys like Ruben Garrick, Kieran Ford, and Sherry Evans are all stepping up now, playing to what they should have been doing at the start of the season. And no, I reckon Manly could actually cause an upset at Penrith. I mean, look, Penrith have to lose eventually, right? Penrith have to lose eventually. They can't win every game, But I mean, it's a chance they could win every game this year, but I don't think so personally. But yeah, look, I got Manly to win 17-16 at Cherry Evans field goal. So that's hopefully it's a birthday present win for me if Manly wins. So Cherry Evans field goal in a Manly 17-16 win over Penrith. Let's hope so. Now the second game of Super Saturday. Now I'll be going to this game. This is the game I'll be going to this weekend because of my birthday. So I'll be going to the Bulldogs and the Eels at Stadium Australia in Sydney. So I'll be going to the Bulldogs-Eels match. So the ins and outs of the Bulldogs. Dallin Watson-Lee's Lesniak's back, but he's been named in reserves. But other than that, it's the same team for the Bulldogs as last week when they beat the Sharks. Now for the Eels got no changes apart from Will Smith being injured, so replacing Will Smith off the bench, it's Ryan Madison who's back from concussion, so it's good to see him back and hopefully goes well off the bench. Look, in this game, Eels should be too good for Bulldogs, but I think Bulldogs will put up a fight, but I think Eels will be a bit too strong, so I reckon Eels will win 30 points to 18 over the Bulldogs on Saturday. So 30 to 18 in the score I'm going with. Now, the last game of Super Saturday, it's Knights versus the Roosters at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. The ins and outs for the Knights are Jahamat Shibasaki's out, and replacing Jahamat Shibasaki, it is, who is it? It's Stafford Toa who replaces him on the wing, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not sure really. And the rest of the team's pretty much the same as last week for the Knights. For the Roosters, they've got no changes as well from what it looks like. Yep, they've got no changes after last week's big win over the Dragons. In this game, I think Roosters will win. They should be a bit too good for Newcastle, but I reckon this could be actually pretty close. So I've got the Roosters to win 20 points to 12. I expect the Roosters to win by 8 points, so 20 points to 12. I'm going with the Roosters to win by. Now, Sunday footy, it's the first game of two, so the first game is a really interesting game, actually, between the Warriors and the Cowboys at Central Coast Stadium in Gosford. But for the Warriors, Marcelo Montoya is out due to injury, so replacing Marcelo Montoya. In the centres, it's Adam Pompey, I believe, and David Fusatua comes back into the team on the wing. And Reece Walsh will move to 5'8" this round, with Roger Tuivasa going back to the fullback position. And the rest of the team's pretty much the same, I think. For the Cowboys, they got no changes as well, I believe. I think, yeah, the Cowboys have the same team as last week's win over Canberra, so that's good. In this game, this was tough to pick, but I went with the Cowboys to win. I think Cowboys will beat the Warriors on Sunday. I think Cowboys are in a bit more better form, and I think Warriors are missing still too many good players. So I think Cowboys win in a close one. So Cowboys to win. I reckon the score line of 24 points to 16 over the Warriors on Sunday. And now the last game, it is the Dragons versus the Tigers at Win Stadium Wollongong. So the ins and outs for the West Tigers, so just see if this can load up quickly. Joe Ofahengawi shifts from the back row to lock, and the other chain, and that's that. And Joey Leilua's back for the Tigers, so Joey Leilua returns from injury for the Tigers. For the Dragons, Jordan Pereira and Makala Ravalawa are both suspended because of last week's incident against the Roosters. Sorry, so Max Viagi will replace who is it? Makala Ravalawa on the wing, and Cody Ramsey will shift back to wing, and Jack Bird go back to centres after Jack Bird played in the halves last week, and the rest of the team is pretty much the same for the Dragons. In this game, I think Dragons will be a bit too good for the Tigers. I think Tigers are in some real trouble. I think Dragons are been in better form, so I got Dragons to win. I reckon Dragons will win 28 points to 14. They should be a bit too good for Tigers. But guys, that's my round 8 tips right there. What are your tips? Let me know in the comment section down below your tips for this round 8. For round 8. And yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.